Good morning. Welcome to my next video. Mr. C teaches verb types. Verb types. Outstanding. So before I teach verb types, I guess I should, through the magic of cut and paste, put some definitions up here on the screen. And so here we go. Through the magic of cut and paste, abracadabra, poof, some definitions. Now you notice these are a little bit long, but that's okay. We can handle that. The first type of verb that we're going to concern ourselves with in this video is the transitive verb. Transitive verbs have two characteristics. Transitive verb is always an action verb. It's something you can actually do, like the examples say here. You can kick, you can want, you can paint, and so on. And second, a transitive verb must have a direct object. And that direct object is the something or someone who receives the action of the verb from the subject of the sentence. The next type of verb is the intransitive verb. Now, this isn't quite the opposite of a transitive verb because an intransitive verb is still an action. It's still a doable activity, but an intransitive verb does not have a direct object. In fact, some intransitive verbs can't have direct objects. That's not the way the verb works. But in any event, an intransitive verb, no direct object. And then the third type of verb is the linking verb, or if you've been studying your vocabulary, what you've seen referred to as the copula. It's an older definition or term for linking verb, rather, that's kind of gone out of fashion recently. But in any event, the linking verb does not express action. What the linking verb does is it connects the subject of the sentence to some additional information about the subject. And that additional information will be an adjective or a noun. And that additional information is referred to as the subject complement. Subject complement. So we have direct objects, no direct objects, transitive, intransitive verbs, and no action, but a subject complement. That's a linking verb. Pretty simple so far, I think. So now what I need to do is I need to make this go away, right? Because I have some example sentences that I'm going to be putting. I have some example sentences that I'm going to be putting up here. So I'm going to make that go away. And for my example sentences, I've enlisted the help of the challengers of the unknown. For those of you who don't know, which would make sense because they're challengers of the unknown, the Challengers of the Unknown were a comic book first published in the 1950s. The characters were at least co-created by Jack Kirby. He might have been the sole creator of them. The sources that I've read vary on that, whether or not somebody helped him create these characters. But in any event, that is Jack Kirby there doing the art in that delightful picture of the Challengers of the Unknown. And so here's some sample sentences. Poof. See, purple, just like their costumes. I'm so clever. All right. Outstanding. And so now let's look at these sentences in a way very similar to the way I'm going to be asking you to look at sentences on the verb types worksheet that I will be handing out this week. So that sounds like a good idea. So what I'm going to be doing on the verb types worksheet is I'm going to be asking you to identify whether or not the verbs and sentences are transitive, intransitive, or linking. Okay, transitive, intransitive, or linking. And if it is a transitive verb, I want you to label the direct object with DO. And if it's a linking verb, I want you to label the subject complement with SC. Right, very clever abbreviations. So I look at my first sentence here. The challengers of the unknown are comic book characters. Well, that's the verb right there. And are is a linking verb. It does not express action. You know, nobody goes out. What are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm going to are. It doesn't work, right? Does not work. And so that's a linking verb. The subject of the sentence is the challengers of the unknown for the complete subject. So comic book characters is the subject complement. Now to be specific, characters is the subject complement. Comic and book are kind of like adjectives in this sentence. You know, English does that sometimes to words, makes them do things they're not normally doing. Book is not normally an adjective, but in this sentence it kind of is. In my second sentence, the challengers of the unknown jumped into the rift between dimensions, because, you know, that's the kind of thing they did. Jumped is the verb, and jump is an action verb. But jumped in this sentence is intransitive. It's an intransitive verb. There's no object to jumped, right? There's a couple of prepositional phrases, but there's no direct object. Now, when we're looking for verbs, we need to be careful because sometimes linking verbs get tricky, and that happens in this next sentence. The challengers of the unknown feel overwhelmed by the danger. Now, you look at this word, feels the verb, and feel can be an action, right? I'm feeling my forehead, right? But in this sentence, it's not an action. If I can take out the verb and put in is or are, and it still works, the sentence still works, it's a linking verb. So the challengers of the unknown feel overwhelmed by the danger doesn't say much different than the challengers of the unknown are overwhelmed by the danger. So this is another linking verb. And since it's a linking verb, there's a subject complement. And in this case, the subject complement is overwhelmed, the adjective overwhelmed, because that describes the subject, describes the challengers. My last sentence, the challengers of the unknown fight the forces of evil. Fight is the verb. And in this case, when I ask the question, what do the challengers fight? Well, they fight forces. They fight forces. That's a direct object. That means this verb is transitive. Very good, very good. So hopefully with the help of our heroes, the challengers of the unknown, the difference between transitive, intransitive, and linking verbs has become a little more clear, and I guess that's really it for this video. I will see you later. Bye-bye.